Ladies and gentlemen, performers and movie makers, our artists and performers, welcome to Dazzled Entertainment. My name is Malika and I am one of the hosts for this afternoon's performance. Well, we're coming to you live from AFDA Cape Town, where the experimental festival is taking place. We're going to get a chance to interview the who's who of the industry and the exceptionally talented students of AFDA. With me today is Tapelo, and he is going to be handling the gist just right outside these four walls. So let's find out what's been going on at the festival. Tapelo.
Good afternoon, South Africa. My name is Tapelo Mahopefela, and we are here at the AFDA Experimental Festival. And as you can see, the ambiance is quite thrilling. We're here to talk and see the Experimental Festival for their theatre productions, their music performances, and their films. Right now, it's time to check out a trailer from one of the productions airing at the festival, which is a television production shot by third years and produced by third years. Let's check it out.
With me in studio is the director of the film, the documentary, Victoria E. Setre. Did I get that right?
No, you didn't. It's Victoria E. Serta.
Victoria E. Setre.
Yes.
And what does the name mean?
The name means victory is certain.
Okay.
It's a Portuguese name, actually. It's the ending of the phrase "a luta continua." So it's a luta continua, Victoria E. Serta, which means the struggle continues, victory is certain.
The struggle continues for sure. What inspired this bold documentary?
It's really what we were going through as a nation last year with the protest, the Fees Fall protest. A lot of us were actually involved in the protests. And we really, from what we saw in the media, we really realized that the student story wasn't being told. So we felt that we need to take that upon ourselves and actually tell people what's going on with the students and what's actually motivating them to do what they've been doing.
That's very interesting. So when it comes to producing such a documentary, what are the challenges that you faced?
Oh, wow. This documentary filmmaking is quite difficult, especially in the short time that we had, because you have to lock down interviews and stuff. And it was quite difficult for us to do that because you need to get voices of like legitimate people. So we found it very difficult getting voices from the institutions in particular. So we don't have any vice chancellors that spoke to us. They all denied an interview, which was quite interesting, I must say. But
But did you manage to get people from the government or?
Yeah, we have a government spokesperson on the documentary. So yeah.
that's an achievement.
Yeah.
So for the viewers at home and anyone else who's going to watch this documentary, what do you want them to take away from this?
We really wanted people to be able to reflect after they walk away from the documentary and just kind of think about, where do you stand in this, struggle? The struggle does continue right now, and as a generation, we need to kind of sit down and think of what is our role now, as we take on the baton from our parents, what's our role, what are we doing? Especially, for the generation that's coming up after us, because it's not all about us, guys. I know right now everyone's thinking it's all about them, but it's actually not. And we have to think about, what exactly it is that you're doing to progress the movement. Yeah.
Oh. Sonia, your documentary is impressive, and I am actually proud to be associated with you under the ban of AFDA. Thank you so much for coming into studio.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you at 3:30.
Yeah, hope to see you too. So that was Sonia with her documentary. I hope you guys get to watch it. And before we go for an ad break, I'm going to show you one more trailer from one of the film festivals that are also showing here at AFDA.
You and your friends can join me and my friends while we activate greatness on television. Channel 263's Cape Town TV's XA between 4 and 5. And I'm sure you do not want to miss our discussions, state politics, businesses, and advisory good career choices. DJs in the house every Friday. Monday through Friday, we bring the biggest, the baddest, and the most even happening. My name is Lama. Join us on Cape Town TV's Channel 263.
Welcome back to Dazzled Entertainment. My name is Tapelo Mahopefela, and right now I'm being joined by the Dean of AFDA Cape Town, Ms. Gina Bonmariage. Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Now, with your experience, you are a very well-known person within the industry, and I'm sure the experience has made you grow as a person and as a professional. Please tell us more about that.
Well, I think I came into the industry really from the very bottom. I started overseas and then I came back here. And I suppose just working really hard from that very bottom has given me all the opportunities, and using every connection that I had at every point where I could, and that helped with a lot of hard work.
Yes, I know you have to use every opportunity you get in the entertainment industry. Now, because of the experience you have in the industry, I'm sure you've seen and worked on so many films. Do you think AFDA is the best school for film and television?
I think it has the most extraordinary breadth of opportunity for learning, for experiencing, for connecting to experts through the lecturers and teachers and ad hoc people who come in from industry. I think we have a very extraordinary campus all over the place in South Africa and, of course, in Botswana. And it's those different schools also and watching each other's work that enriches what you do.
I definitely agree with that. Now, just the final question before you leave, because I know you want to see the musical performances.
Yes.
Besides that, are you here to see anything in specific from the productions of the AFDA students?
I want to see absolutely everything. I want to see the theatre, I want to see the musical performance, I want to see television and every film, because it's my experience of Cape Town, which is new. So I'm very excited about that.
Thank you very much for joining us, ma'am. It's been an absolute honor.
This is the sort of caliber of people we get to interact with here at AFDA. Well, before the break, we did show you a trailer of one of the films that are showing here. And with me in studio is the director, Duncan for Opaque. How are you, Duncan?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am great. Now, does the title for the movie come from the word?
Yes, it does. The film explores grief, and grief being such a dark subject. I thought about opaque as its definition is impenetrable to the passage of light. Okay. And so through that, the character in the film, he's an artist and his medium is charcoal, which is black. Okay. So opaque being that as well, that's where it came from.
That's really interesting, very creative. And why this genre though?
Primarily because, I suppose it would be a drama, and primarily because in experimenting, because it's an experimental film, I decided to rather focus on emotions, and I feel like a drama is probably the best genre to focus solely on emotion and emotions of the characters.
Okay, and when it comes to experimental festivals or experimental films, in your case, what was the most challenging thing you faced? Because a lot of people at home think it's easy to make a film, or
Definitely not. With this film in particular, I think the most challenging part, well, firstly, was the location. Okay. It took us most of the term to find our location because it was quite specific. For the film, I wanted to place the characters in an isolated environment, so they needed kind of like a log cabin, okay, or an isolated cabin that wasn't around society. So it had to be out of Cape Town, and it had to be one of these things. But usually they're self-catering cottages, which are booked out, and so location was a big problem. But eventually we found the perfect one. And then another big problem was, for me personally, is just finding a way to make the film experimental in itself, okay, because I'm quite a logical person, so I would write in a structured way. So eventually I found that way to make it experimental, but it was difficult.
Overcome it, like?
I mean, Vala helped a lot. After we had our pitch, they kind of gave us feedback with that, but we were able to kind of explore into the character's mind rather than just kind of on the outside. We can see his emotions internally through kind of to putting him in a studio and creating a dark space, a negative space.
I love experimental films. Like, they just bring a lot of things into play. we're going to take a look at our social media and see what's going on there. We've got a comment from Ashley. It says, your set looks amazing, guys. Look forward to the show. Thank you, Ashley. And scrolling up, we've got Bapiwe. He says, we cannot wait to watch D Entertainment, #D. Thank you, Bapiwe. And lastly, we've got Toko. And it's a question to you, Duncan. It says, Duncan, what inspired you to do directing?
I came to AFDA thinking I wanted to do cinematography and editing, because those are the things you can play with outside of studying. Directing's a bit harder to kind of get into. And then I did directing first term, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being able to tell my stories, and I enjoyed the kind of the control and just the kind of you're able to project your mind and what you see to other people and show them. Tell them the stories you want to tell. So
you're a storyteller.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you so much for coming to studio and just taking your time out to be with us.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have from Duncan. We're going to go to Tapelo and find out what's going on outside.
It is magnificent, Malika. We are still at the AFDA Film Festival. Right now, I'm being joined by one of the visitors here who has been enjoying herself the entire day. What's your name?
My name is Entle.
Now, I've been looking at you this entire time, and I can see that you're enjoying yourself. Are you here to watch anything in specific?
Theater, television, anything. I'm here to have a job.
And do you mind explaining the get-up for the day?
Well, I'm just feeling myself, just rocking it, just, yeah.
And you are rocking it very well, I must say.
Thank you so much.
Well, we are still going on here at the festival. The vibe is still amazing. And if you're not here, you need to get here as soon as possible.
My father's a director, my grandmother was an actress, professional actress, so I suppose it was in the family genes. And I'd done drama at university. And then my first passion after tennis was to do film. And I did film, and I did television, and I did acting, and I then went into another passion of mine, which was to teach acting. And then I sustained a career in teaching and in directing professionally. But I gave up acting a long time ago, just because I preferred directing. Table is just a collection of stories that reflect what happens, the different kinds of things that happen around tables, and it moves between some serious commentary, some domestic commentary, which is both has a satiric comment to it, as well as humorous comment to it. So the material is very sophisticated. It's placed in an actor training curriculum for a very specific purpose, and the specific purpose is to advance craft. What is the acting craft in terms of sustainment of character, believability of character, and then into techniques such as comic timing, those kinds of things. So the material is very sophisticated, and it's set with, as I say, with very, very specific objectives around acting craft.
Now I'm being joined by a third-year student at AFDA, Tamsanga Ketane. I hope I said that right. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good. Well, Tamsanga is part of a third-year production called The Table, and I just wanted to know, because you're playing 3 characters, tell me how you dived into that, and what about those characters do you like the most?
Well, at start it was a challenge. I mean, I didn't know how to shift energy into 3 characters, but like through the preparation in rehearsal and the repetition on a daily basis, like I managed to play these 3 different roles, so it was good and challenging at the same time.
Which character did you have to deal with the most in terms of getting into character?
It had to be Mr. Mpumelelo.
Right.
Simply because like he's a very structured man, he's a businessman, and there's a lot happening between him in his relationship status. And like, yeah, it was very challenging. I had to
just dive into it.
Yeah, it was,
now, for those of you who aren't theatre fans, The Table is directed and produced by?
Chris Weir.
Now, please tell us just a small synopsis of the entire play.
The play is based around the table, and the concept of the play is mainly relationships.
Yeah.
And like, we go around different plays, and we see the different types of relationships among like these different characters.
Which is something not all plays do, I understand.
Yes, yes.
Now, because you're going to be a qualified live performer, because that's what AFDA does for you, do you have any plans for after that?
After this life, I hopefully want to get into more auditions, get adverts, I want to audition for films, but also I have to join an agency, which I have to do this year. Yeah.
Now,
next year, it's going to be a tough one, but we're going to have to crack it. Yeah.
Now, best of luck with that. Before you leave, one more question. As a live performer, how has this enhanced your game with the ladies?
Oh, I don't know, but like, I smooth talk here and there, and like, conversation is created,
of course.
And we have to improvise here and there.
All right, thank you very much, Tom Tanza. Now we're going to cut to an ad break. Join us soon.
Hey! Goedemiddag, youth from Cape Town. I'm Nella from XE, and XE is one of the best youth shows in town, especially on a Friday, because we have artists, musicians, DJs, and the latest fashion trends. And don't forget about our gig guide. So don't touch your remote and don't go anywhere, because you're not going to want to miss this Friday.
Well, before the break, we showed you a sneak preview of the final guest that we're going to have in studio today. The phenomenal G, the singer, is with us in studio. G,
hi.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
So tell me, what inspired you for this particular song?
It's the love that I share with my fiance. Songezo Mama songs. We're going to get married soon, so we decided to write a song, you know.
Aww,
yeah.
Love still exists.
Yeah.
Really sweet. So,
Thank you.
What inspires you, like generally, when it comes to music? Is it life experiences? What is it that
yeah.
inspires you?
Experiences, like whenever I'm sad, I write. Whenever I'm happy, I write. Like, yeah.
And why music?
Why music? Mm-hmm. I live music, I breathe music. Like everything, music completes me. You know.
So you sing in the shower, bake whilst you're singing?
Even now, I feel like singing.
Well, you're gonna get a chance to perform in Dazzled. And then, when it comes to like life, you know, people older than you, you seem as if you've come further in life. What are your long-term goals?
Okay, I want to have my own music school because I want to groom upcoming artists. You know, I want to have my own studio. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, that's very bold. Like, I hope you actually achieve that goal. And what words of advice do you have, like, for people who aspire to be you, or people who just look at you from afar, or generally people who want to get into music but are not in music? What words do you have for them?
Oh, yeah. Believe in yourself. Never give up. That's
Never
all I have,
up.
yeah.
You certainly you're here today with
us.
Thank you so much for joining us in studio.
Thank
I cannot
you.
wait for your performance, especially because it's a love song. Like,
yeah,
I want to believe in love again. Well, there you have it. That is G with us in studio. We're going to just go for a final view at what's happening here at AFDA Cape Town. So Tapelo, please show us what's happening at the festival.
Well, that's all from us at the AFDA Film and Experience Festival. What do we say, guys? When you believe it, you can achieve it!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming to an end. The show is coming to an end, but the festival still continues. I would like to give a special shout out and thank you to each and every single person who joined us today in studio. Well, for me, Malaika, Tapelo outside, and the Dazzle Entertainment studio would like to wish you a farewell And remember, if you believe it, you can achieve it. Take care, guys.